Will the council meeting of February 21st, 2025 please come to order? It is now 9:02 a.m. Ms. Clerk, roll call.
Chair proceeding with roll call. Councilmember Pro Tempore Tasha Kama.
Aloha kakahiaka, Chair, and good morning to everyone.
And Privi to everyone.
Oh, and Pravit.
Vice Chair Yukile Sugimura.
Pravit, everyone, and have a aloha, very productive council meeting.
Councilmember Tamara Paulton. And seated next to me is the Deputy Clerk, Rochelle Thompson. From our Legislative Division staff, we have Lauren Saldana, Del Yoshida, Arthur Suyama, and Chris Minford. Joining the meeting from the Office of Council Services is Director David Rotz and Legislative Attorney Megan Moniz.
Thank you. Members, I forgot to mention that Preet, because I know you know, but for our audience, Preet is a greeting from Ukraine. Okay.
Chair.
Yes? Member Rollins Fernandez.
Mahalo, Chair. Your video's not on.
It's not? Oh, okay. Thank you.
And nor is member Senences or member Sugimura. Okay, member Senensi needs access. I don't see you on the TV or my screen, member Sugimura. Okay, that's all. Oh, okay. Member Sugimura needs access too. Mahalo, Chair.
Thank you. Staff? Okay, is everybody on? Just let me know, because I don't know if you guys are fully on or... Okay, ready?
Okay,
now
they're
it's-
here in person, Chair. We don't have to wait. I just wanted to let them know that their videos weren't on. That's all.
No, but it's important. Member Gabe Johnson, please give us your opening remarks.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, members, for allowing me this chance to share opening remarks. Recently, I was reading a Maui Now article, and I made the mistake of visiting the comment section. Boy, oh boy, I shouldn't have done that. It was full of unfounded accusations that just weren't true by people who don't know who the council actually are. So, I was born in Miami and was raised in the inner city of Cleveland. I grew up poor on the wrong side of the tracks in one of the most segregated cities in America. In fact, I was bused in an effort to integrate our school system and went to 5 different schools in 6 years, many located on the east side. Being 50% Puerto Rican, 25% Okinawan, and 25% Caucasian, I clicked a lot of boxes. I saw a lot of racism, poverty, and systemic injustice as a young child. I got out of the hood when I was first in my family to go to college. So I went to Kent State University for my undergrad in English and creative writing. I wrote my first great screenplay about 8 years ago, and I'm presently working on my second. Did anyone know that Councilmember Senensi, when he went to college, he was creating amazing work? You should see some of his drawings and painting. He is an amazing talent. I was raised by my single mother and my Okinawan grandmother. And during Councilmember U'uhaja's first inauguration, I learned that she too has a Japanese grandmother. And the love she shows her grandmother brings me back to my own Obasa. After college, I moved to Japan and got a black belt in judo while teaching on the JET program. I bet many of you didn't know that Chair Lee also is a black belt in martial arts. And I think it's Aikido, I don't know. It's Aikido. When I was living in Japan, I learned more than just how to... An interesting fact about me is that once I was lost at sea for 7 days as a young adult off the coast of Florida. I prayed to God a lot that week. Councilmember Kama also prays a lot. I raised my daughter Momo as a single father on Lanai. She's now an adult, and you know who else also only has one child now as an adult? Councilmember Sugimura. Whenever her son visits her, all bets are off, and he becomes her top priority. She treats her son how I treat my daughter, and I love that. We have a lot of things that we can connect on. We may not agree on policy all the time, but we're human beings with amazing diversity, and I'm honored to call you guys my colleagues. We're a family, albeit a little bit dysfunctional sometimes, but we all deeply care about our community, and we just sometimes see very different ways to help and support it. For the most part, we agree more than we don't, and for that I'm eternally grateful. Thank you, Chair. I yield the floor.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Member Johnson. That was so gracious and generous of you. to include something nice about every member besides your life. Yes, thank you.
It wasn't that hard.
It wasn't. Okay, very good. Thank you again. I don't know. I hope that we stay on this level going forward and not deviate and start to, get entangled in different things. At this time, please join me. We did the Pledge of Allegiance, so may I ask that all of you turn off your devices. We will be taking a lunch break at noon today, all right, because we had a special request by our council member from West Maui who has a meeting at 12 o'clock. As a reminder, testimony must pertain to items on the meeting agenda. When testifying, please direct your remarks to the council and not to any individual member or member of the public. Each testifier will be allowed to speak for up to 3 minutes on each item. For individuals wishing to testify on Teams, please click the Raise Your Hand button to be added to the testifier log. If you are calling in, please follow the phone prompts to be added to the testifier log. Decorum shall be maintained at all times. Any person who behaves in a manner that disrupts, disturbs, or impedes the orderly conduct of any council meeting can, at the discretion of the presiding officer or a majority of present council members, be ejected or banned from council meetings, or if participating remotely, muted or dropped from the meeting. Examples of disruptive behavior include, but are not limited to, heckling, shouting, use of profanity, threatening or slanderous remarks made to any member of the council, staff, or general public. Ms. Clerk, please proceed.
Chair, thank you. At this time, we will be accepting testimony solely on the ceremonial resolutions. And at this time, we have 2 testifiers signed up for ceremonial resolutions. The first is Leslie Matthews, testifying on Resolution 2571, and she will be followed by Robin Garrison.
Good morning, Chair Lee, and good morning, council members. I don't know if this is possible, but Kamaka Kehau Fernandez is online, and I think he wanted to testify, so I would defer, if it's possible, to his testimony first. If not, I'm prepared to go.
Any objections, members?
Okay.
If not, Kamaka, are you ready?
I might have put him on the spot.
Can you hear us? We can't hear you.
Hi.
Oh, now we can hear you.
you. Hello, everybody. Good morning. Well, to be very honest, I just came in honor of wanting to participate in, as an African American Hawaiian and Hawaiian raised heart and soul in Hawaii. I'm just so grateful to be able to and blessed to be able to carry the traditions of Hawaii through music, through storytelling, to education. I don't know exactly what I should be testifying. I'm so sorry, but I'm just always so grateful to Leslie for, helping to keep me involved. So I'll turn it right back over to you, Les.
Thank you. Yes, Member Rollins Fernandez.
Mahalo, Chair. Aloha, Kumu Kamaka Fernandez. Nice to see you. He was the kumu for my keiki at Punana Leo o Manoa. Are you still educating our keiki and opio?
Thank you. Aloha, Kiani. Great to hear your voice. And, I haven't been in the school system, but what I have been participating in, there's a group out here known as Kinai Ehas. And so this is the school for troubled boys right here in Olomana. And so I've, utilized my language skills to go and help them there. And also teaching online with Olelo Hawaii as well, with Mahua.
Hau'oli mahina Olelo Hawaii. Mahalo.
Eo, mahalo.
Mahalo, Chair.
Thank you. Any more comments or questions? If not, thank you very much. Ms. Matthews?
Okay. Good morning, Chair, and thank you for that. I have such high esteem for Kumu Kumaka Kehau Fernandez here in Hawaii and around the world. So thank you for that. So I wanted to thank the council for honoring Black History Month here today. Black History Month holds a very special place for me. My mom will be turning 74 on Sunday. So one generation ago, my mom was born into a time of segregation. So we don't have to look very far at how far we've come and how much further we have yet to go. I'm very thankful that my parents raised me here on Maui to be here and to come back to Hawaii to serve. I stand in my role as president of the African American Lawyers Association. I was also elected president of the Maui County Bar Association, and during my term, I was the first Black president to serve there. During my term as president of the African American Lawyers Association, I'm really proud what our bar has done. We've seen Judge Bavon Bowers to be sworn in as the first Black female judge to serve here in Hawaii. We've seen U.S. District Court Judge Micah Fernandez to be the first Black judge to serve for the U.S. District Court of Hawaii. We've seen Judge Maloyan to be the first Black judge to serve as on the family court bar, and I'm led by incredible leaders such as Judge Sandra Sims, who was the first Black female judge in all of Hawaii. And I just am really proud of where we've come and how much further we have to go. Being a Black female here raised on Maui, I'm led by incredible people such as my Auntie Jill Peressa, who helped raise me to teach me language, culture, and things, and who decided to go to heaven without letting me know on the anniversary of my law firm. I wouldn't be where I am without people like her who raised me in culture and language. I miss her every day. Sorry. I carry pictures of her with me to court. Every morning she would tell me, Leslie, get out there and make Maui a better place. Or she would yell something at me in Olela, Hawaii. And so when we talk about diversity, equity, and inclusion, we talk about a world where someone like me, with my mom one generation ago, could go on to be sworn into the bar for the state of Hawaii and also to the U.S. District Court for the District of Hawaii. We talk about someone who can see my mom go up against incredible odds. We talk about equity, we talk about ensuring that people can have a voice and they can have a seat at the table. Or like Shirley Chisholm said, if there is no seat at the table, if there is no seat for you, you can bring your own seat. And I'm really proud of the things that the African American Lawyers Association has been able to do. We took part with the PACE Commission that was authorized by the Supreme Court to start the first Maui Nui Law and Justice Academy. And why is that important? We had people like Malia from, and I'll wrap up. We had people like Malia who in her senior year of high school launched a project for period equity to make sure that people with periods had the products that they needed. She raised over 10,000 products. And I'll just close by saying I'm really thankful for my tribe, my squad, who allows me to do what we do with work rooted in Proverbs 31:8 and 9. And in closing, when we have diverse backgrounds and representation, it allows me. One day I was walking to court and there was this young lady, she was in 10th grade, and she goes, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I said, "Well, I'm going to court." And she said, "I didn't know ladies could be attorneys." And I said, "Well, go back and talk to your college counselor." And so just by being who we are, just by being who God intended us to be, we open the doors for so many more people. So Mom, thank you for opening doors for me. Thank you for fighting for me. To my grandmother, my Granny Doc, my grandmother Matthews, thank you so much. To my Auntie Jill, I'll never forget you. I love you always. I'll continue to go out there and make Maui a better place.
Thank you, Ms. Matthews. Any questions, members? If not, thank you very much.
Chair, the next testifier is Robin Garrison, testifying on Resolution 2571, and she will be followed by Rainey Doc Matthews.
Aloha, council members. Thank you for having me. I have been proudly Black and on Maui for 26 years. I started by volunteering with Women Helping Women, giving some women the first loving touch they've ever had in their lives. I volunteered at Malama Family Recovery, helping pregnant women who are recovering from substance abuse. I've been a sexual assault nurse examiner. I'm a hospice nurse, and now I'm a street medicine nurse practitioner helping the most vulnerable on the streets of Maui. A couple of years ago, I met this black woman on Twitter. Her name is Karen Scott. She was an OBGYN from Nashville, Tennessee. She came to visit and she shadowed me one day. I'm just going to read what she wrote about our journey. In the wake of the devastating fire that engulfed Lahaina last August 2023, everyday heroes emerged from the ashes as shining beacons of hope and healing for their community. Among these local health heroes stands an extraordinary human, a midwife, community-based nurse practitioner, and a hospice and palliative care nurse, Robin Garrison, whose dedication knows no bounds as she traverses the streets and beaches, offering solace and support to the displaced. Spending the afternoon with Robin reminds of the generosity of humanity and empathy that is so necessary in this very chaotic and hurting world. With the Lahaina fire leaving countless individuals and families houseless, Robin's presence offers a living sanctuary of comfort and belonging for displaced individuals, couples, and families navigating the tumultuous aftermath. The combination of her lived experience, expertise, and unwavering compassion allows Robin to provide healing for the body, mind, and spirit, from the prescriptions for an infected air to a clean bottled water for folks without water. Seeing how displaced individuals surviving on the beaches light up from the inside out in the presence of Robin is a testament to the unconditional love and acceptance she has for herself and humanity. With open arms and heart, gentle touch, and listening ear, Robin offers comfort and dignity to those facing inhumane conditions. Following Robin reminded me of the dire need for the restoration of humanity in health and human services. She serves as a bridge between hopelessness and humanity in the streets and beaches of Maui. One of the women that we encountered that day was a black woman, and I said, "Is there anything that you need?" And she said, "A reason." So I am just blessed to help the people of this island, to help keep people out of the emergency room. I work with the hospital staff to help people when they're released, so that we don't have people to go back to the hospital. So anyway, I just hope that when funds are presented for street medicine or need to be released for street medicine, that you help me to continue to make my Black ancestors proud. Thank you so much. Aloha.
Thank you. Members, questions? Vice Chair Sugimura.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
Beautiful. So I'm just wondering, what is the organization that you're working under for the street?
I work with Project Vision Hawaii.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you. Ms. Clark.
Chair, the last person we have currently signed up to testify on ceremonial resolutions is Rainey Doc Matthews, testifying on Resolution 2571.
Aloha. Council Chair Lee and the entire council, thank you very much. And as you can see, my nap mask just got caught in my earring. I'm so sorry. But anyway, I'm very honored to be here and to later be accepting the proclamation from the county. But my daughter, Leslie Dawn Haoliokalani Matthews, has already mentioned me, and I also want to mention her, that I'm very, very grateful that my former husband and I raised a young woman who had great passion starting at age 10 when she called her first family meeting and told the family, her brother, my former husband, and I, what she would be doing in life and every step that she would take to get there. And today, I'm looking at that dream, that vision, the result of that family meeting. And we are so honored to be able to serve as Black women here on Maui. Black women, we are representing the Black culture, if I may. Some of you may hear us with passion as we speak out. We speak very passionately. But let me tell you, one of the reasons we speak passionately with regards to our community interest and being vested in what's happening here on Maui is because if you don't hear our passion, you will only see our Blackness. And the Blackness has a tendency to create barriers. So our passion has been a way and is a way to break down the barriers. I saw that as a Black woman that went up in 2023, I think it was, 2022, with regards to the TSA, Homeland Security, when I knew I was Black. I figured they may have known I was Black, but I figured in order to achieve the great atrocity that had been launched at people with disabilities in opening a checkpoint that would not allow people such as me to enter with my walker, people such as me that have, that have metal implants, we could not. So me, with my Blackness and my passion, for 7 months, I went and I did. So I wanted to share that with you. So and then I have something else that I'll share very briefly with the proclamation. But again, when you hear our passion, do not discredit, because ever since, we have had to be passionate about what we believe in so that you don't put your blinders on because you see our Blackness. Last week, I was asked to speak be a panelist in Orange County, California at a law school with regards to the intersection of Black women with a disability. So for me, this 74-year-old woman, I've got a lot of barriers that I am victoriously overcoming.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Any questions, members? If not, thank you very much. May we have the next testifier?
Chair, currently that is the I see J.C. Law making his way to the podium.
Aloha kakahiaka, aloha kako,
Aloha.
aloha akaku, aloha luna ho'omoluli. Thank you, Mr. Ambassador. The Hawaiian word of the day is ele ele. Translated off of the internet, that's, I'm not sure what the guys on the internet were thinking, but I guess that means the color black and not the person black. But the Hawaiians would probably call the words for that African American is Apalika Amelika. So in my previous life, I spent most of my youth in the South, South Carolina and Virginia. And I did go to 6th, 7th, and 8th grade at Honolulu. And I got a little taste of discrimination towards what locals call haole. But I went to high school in Erie, Pennsylvania, which was in the north, where supposedly black people were free, and the school was 99% white, and there was even discrimination up there. So I'm honored to be called Howling, and I want to say proud. But as recently as yesterday, I felt the anger, shame, and frustration that Rosa Parks and others, a lot of others, went through on the bus system. And it was, I know it was Akua that put me in that situation, because I'm still learning every day about Hawaii, and I'm so glad and blessed to be here. And I want everybody to know that Akua is multiracial. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Ms. Clark.
Chair, the last person currently signed up to testify is Richard Mitchell, testifying on Resolution 2571.
Good morning, Chair, and good morning, members. It's good to be with you again. I hadn't planned on testifying this resolution, but talk of passion got me passionate. It got me passionate because I was taught very early, work twice as hard to get half the chance. And as some of you know, I've conveyed that to my sons. Work twice as hard, you get half the chance. For me, it isn't about color. It's about performance. Folks have to look beyond color and recognize performance. When I first came to Hawaii, I was stunned to not sense color, but sense inclusion. Having lived in a variety of communities in several countries, I thought, I need to go back. I need to go back. And that was over 30 years ago. I took the bar exam in 1995 before I even moved here, because I thought, I need to be in this community. So we should be proud. And that's what I want to convey to you. We should be proud. Let me end by kudos to OCS in drafting a wonderful resolution. Thank you, David, and thank you, Jared. I read it closely. I have one suggestion, always looking to do things better, and that is capture the history you've heard today. Include it in the resolution. Make it continuously from year to year a living document that reflects our community. With that, thank you. I will continue to work twice as hard for half the chance.
Thank you, Mr. Mitchell. Any questions, members? Yes, we have a question from Pro Tem Kama.
Thank you, Mr. Mitchell, for being here.
Please call me Remy.
Okay.
I'm adjusting to this.
Yeah. Okay.
Director
Well,
stuff.
thank you.
Yes.
Did you read the quote from Martin Luther King when he came September 17th in 1959 to address the very first state legislature, the very first session?
Tell
Did
me
you
what
ever
the
read
quote
that?
was, and I'll tell you whether I know it.
He spoke about coming here to Hawaii, and as he was standing on the podium and he was looking out at the people, and he saw so many different colors, so many different rainbows of people, that he had to say throughout that entire speech how wonderful it was to see Hawaii set the standard for where he had come from. And I thought that was really interesting when I read that.
I don't know the quotes, but what I will say, it's hard to describe to folks who haven't experienced living in environments where they're constantly being evaluated first based upon their color. Working in environments where that's always the first thing you sense, and then suddenly being in an environment where you no longer sense it. It's a noticeable difference. But we all have tremendous diversity, and I thank Member Johnson for his very eloquent opening, because it points that out. Most of you probably don't know I'm half Sikh Indian. Did you know that?
No.
All right. I present as African American. My father's side is from Jamaica. My mother's side is from Guyana. My grandmother, maternal grandmother's name is Chandrati Singh. Most people don't realize the diversity I even have in myself. But the bottom line is we all have to respect that, and our community is rich with it, and I love being here.
Thank you very much. Ms. Clark.
Chair, there's currently no one else signed up to testify on the ceremonial resolution, so at this time, we will do final call. If you would like to testify on the ceremonial resolutions, this is your opportunity. You can raise your hand in Teams, or you can make your way to the podium if you are here. And the countdown is 3,
Ms.
2,
Clark,
1.
is it only on this resolution?
We have 2 ceremonial resolutions. It's on both, and I have spoken to the football team. They're going to wait.
They're going to wait.
Yes,
Okay.
they're a little shy.
All right. Mr. Johnson.
Chair, I saw Dick Mayer's hand up when she asked to raise hand, so I don't know if he's planning to testify on this reso or not, but I did see his hand raised, as well as ML. I'm sorry. Oh, Moana raised
Ms.
her hand.
Claire.
I don't know.
Ms. Clark, do we have somebody online that wishes to testify?
Oh, he has signed up to testify on, not on a ceremonial
Okay,
resolution.
sorry, stand corrected. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
That's correct.
Okay, Ms. Clark.
Chair, so with the countdown, it's 3, 2, 1, and there is no one indicating a desire to testify on the ceremonial resolutions.
Members, any objections to closing public testimony on ceremonial resolutions? Okay, we can still accept written testimony. So ordered. Ms. Clark?
Chair, we do have the football team present. Would you like to start with them? They did have a bit of a delay, but they are present.
Okay.
They're hiding out in the lobby. Yeah. Here they come.
Okay.
We got a crew.
But nobody to testify.
No, the coach will make some comments after the resolution.
Okay, let's take up the resolution.
Okay. Chair, before you is Resolution 2556, congratulating the Kamehameha Schools Maui football team for winning the 2024 First Hawaiian Bank Hawaii School Athletic Association Division II State Football Championship.
Vice Chair Sugimura.
I move to adopt Resolution 2556.
Second.
It's been moved by Vice Chair Sugimura, seconded by Pro Tem Kama, to adopt Resolution 25-56. Discussion, Member Sugimura.
Thank you, Chair. May I please request for the clerk to read the resolution in its entirety?
Ms. Clark.
Thank you, Chair. Resolution number 2556, congratulating the Kamehameha Schools Maui football team for winning the 2024 First Hawaiian Bank Hawaii High School Athletic Association Division II State Football Championship. Whereas the Kamehameha Schools Maui football team won its first state title at the 2024 First Hawaiian Bank Hawaii High School Athletic Association Division II State Football Championship on November 30th, 2024 at Mililani High School on Oahu. And whereas the First Hawaiian Bank Hawaii High School Athletic Association Division II State Football Championships were held over 3 weekends from November 16th to November 30th, 2024. And whereas the Warriors claimed the state championship with an impressive 37-14 victory over Kaiser High School, and whereas the Warriors advanced the championship game with a dominant 60-26 victory, 4th-seeded Roosevelt High School in the semifinals played at Kana Iupuni Stadium at the Kamehameha Schools Maui campus, and whereas the Kamehameha Schools Maui football team has demonstrated consistency and excellence by reaching the Division II State Football Championship game in 3 of the last 4 seasons, and whereas the Maui Interscholastic League representative has reached the Division II State Football Championship game in 8 consecutive seasons, and whereas the 2024 Kamehameha Schools Maui Championship team consists of players Frank Abreu, Kaanohi Casco, Dane Nakagawa, Bruce Beltran, Arija Benz Yen, Colton Waikiki Caldera, Caden Yap, Colt Kaho'ohanohano, Aka Abihai Phillips, Tevin Apo, Anthony Sardine Jr., Kailohia Kang, Loeka Adams, Preston Lorenzo, Asen Mueller, Keanu Lenoza, Jedediah Campbell, Branson Hong, Tali Buen Consejo, Shiloh Gilliland, Kalai Robinson, Logan Andrade, Mana Kuo Keao Ka'awamo. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing any of those. I really do. Kiai Kulea, Kalipi, Kaili Rice, Kaivi Ho, Kaikea Hueo, Cash Kalama, Kekoa Brown, Noah Gabriel, New Hugh, Howard, Kukawa, Cueva, So'o, Ramzan, Fruin, Rusty Ako Nataniela, Isaiah Lani, Aukai Phillips, Kapena Lani, Kamahao Akima, Eli Mossman, Olamana Demelo Tolentino, Kamuela Lani, Kainalu Nishioka Demelo Namau, Kaua Medeiros, Isaac Goslin, Tanoa Finai, Dwayne Peneku, Ethan Morita, Kaleva Pasqua, Kiavi Delatorre, Kahuano Kiahi, Keanu Reyes, Titus Joaquin, Pa'u Spencer, Loea Oswego Stark, Kale Peo Ope, Kamale Bullock, Mana Gasman, and Josiah Kaya Medeiros. And whereas the team's success is attributable to the leadership and sacrifices of head coach Ulima Afoa, assistant coaches David Carino, Lance De Silva, Frank Abreu, Kavika Boro, Leo Delatorre, Brian Harris, Kevin O'Brien, Alika Guerrero, Brandon Kang, Vern Merrill, Kaeo Rupani, Christian Rosenthal, and Sai Hamasaki, managers Dale Ho'opi'i, Tanya Souza, Kino Hara, Kamana Kala, Sherilyn Polly, Dorcas Cashman, Lemoy Tua, and Kanani Franco, athletic trainers Alika Asing, Aaron Barnett, Larissa Jimenez, Rachel Jordan and Sam Perdido, and statisticians Haley Simons, Amy Simpson Kane, Javon Torres Lieber, Elias Bontalon, and Kamaehu Blackburn. And whereas the dedication, hard work, and team spirit of the Kamehameha Schools Maui football team, with the support of their parents and school community, have brought great pride to the people of the County of Maui. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Council of the County of Maui, 1, that it hereby congratulates the Kamehameha Schools Maui football team for winning the first Hawaiian Bank Hawaii School Athletic Association Division II Football State Championship, and 2, that certified copies of this resolution be transmitted to all team members and coaches, John Viella, Athletic Director, and Lance Kagasan, Kepo'o Mahele Luna, Kamehameha Schools Maui, Joseph Belangitao Jr., Executive Director, Maui Interscholastic League, Christopher Chun, Executive Director, Hawaii High School Athletic Association, and the Honorable Richard T. Bisson Jr., Mayor, County of Maui.
Vice Chair Sugimura.
Thank you, Chair. Such a glorious day. I'm so proud that the council is honoring Kamehameha Schools. And can you imagine? The whole state must have been shocked. We whipped their butt, right? Good job. So as you know, Kamehameha Schools is upcountry, and it is such a special place because it comes from really a lot of the districts that all of us represent are at Kamehameha School. So it really is a lot of our neighbors that are being honored today. I think that athletics is very important for shaping the future of children, and the honor that they have bestowed upon themselves is really an honor that you have given to Maui County. So I wanted to congratulate them. It takes coaches and parents, aunties, grandmas, everybody, who stand beside you and make sure that you do the best job. In my office, I have a coach. His name is Jordan Hele. Do any of you know Jordan Hele? He does, he coaches also, and he coaches me. But it takes that kind of commitment for the kids and for the people that make us be able to honor you today. I'm so proud. So thank you very much, and I hope all of you will join me in supporting this resolution and pass it overwhelmingly. Thank you.
Any more discussion? If not, all those in favor of the motion, please raise your hand and say aye. 9 ayes, 0 noes, motion carries. Congratulations, team. Team, coaches, parents, everybody.
Yes.
Okay, would anyone like to come up to the microphone and say a few words?
Yeah, I wonder if we could, so if somebody could come up and say a few words, we have...
And then we'll take the picture
here.
afterwards.
And then all of you will come and take pictures with us. I wanted to, where's the coach?
Are you the coach? Yeah, right up here.
Congratulations.
First of all, on behalf of Kamehameha Schools, Maui's administration, faculty, and staff, we would like to thank the County Council for this honor that you've bestowed on our team today. The accomplishment that we're honoring today is basically a testament to individuals coming together and working together for a common goal, something that I see that needs to happen more often, even in an area like government. The success that we have is because each individual bought into one vision, and they persevered, they worked, and they achieved that vision, because whatever the differences were individually, they came together as a team. And again, on behalf of our athletic program and these wonderful young men that I've had the opportunity to coach, thank you very much for the honor that you've bestowed upon us today. Mahalo.
Thank you very much. Would anybody else like to say a few words?
How about the team captain?
The team captain? Or anyone else? And no women on the team? Okay. Morning.
Morning. Wasn't expected to come up and speak today on behalf of our team. This was a great season for my seniors and for the underclassmen to step up and become leaders. It was a great honor for me to work with these young fellows, my brothers, and now that I'm off to new heights, going off to college, play some ball, and I'm really blessed to say that I had the opportunity to be part of this amazing history in our school. It's my bad, I'm kind of nervous. It's a lot of eyes on me. I'm not like a very out there person. I'm more so behind every single one of these boys. And yeah, I thank you for having us here. And it was an amazing experience.
Congratulations.
Good job. Very good job. Anyone else? If not, can we ask you to come down to the front of the room? Take a quick picture.
Good job. Oh my. Good speech.
I think maybe.
Come on, I'll do it.
Thanks for everything you do. I was almost going to start talking about access to your bike.
Okay, members, can you please return to your seats? We're going to take up the next resolution. Ms. Clerk?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Calling Resolution 25-71, celebrating February 2025 as Black History Month in the County of Maui.
Okay. Member Sinensi?
Mahalo, Chair. I move to adopt Resolution 25-71, please.
Second.
Moved by Member Sinensi, seconded by Member Hodgins to adopt Resolution 25-71. Discussion, Member Sinensi.
Mahalo, Chair. May I please request that the clerk read the resolution in its entirety?
Ms. Clerk?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Resolution 25-71, celebrating February 2025 as Black History Month in the County of Maui. Whereas on February 10th, 1976, President Gerald R. Ford issued a message in the observance of Black History Month. And whereas every United States president has since designated the month of February as Black History Month, and whereas Black History Month is an annual celebration of achievements by African Americans and their contributions in United States history. And whereas many African Americans, guided by a sense of justice and a commitment to a better world, have worked for social progress and against racism to achieve success and to make significant contributions to the economic, educational, political, artistic, athletic, literary, scientific, and technological advancement of the United States. And whereas on November 4th, 2008, the people of the United States elected Barack Obama to be the first African American president of the United States. And whereas during his tenure, President Obama brought global recognition and admiration for cultural diversity to his birthplace, the state of Hawaii. And whereas Black people have made countless invaluable contributions to many phases of Hawaii's development, and whereas the first Black people arrived in the Hawaiian Islands in the early 1800s as deckhands on merchant and whaling ships coming from Africa, the Caribbean, and the United States, and many became successful musicians, business persons, and respected government officials. And whereas in 1897, Black citizens of the Kingdom of Hawaii joined Kanaka Maoli in their fight for liberation by signing the Ku'e petition, protesting the annexation of the Kingdom of Hawaii by the United States. And whereas a decade before the United States Civil War and the Emancipation Proclamation, Article 12 of the Kingdom of Hawaii Constitution of 1852 said, slavery shall under no circumstances whatsoever be tolerated in the Hawaiian Islands. Whenever a slave shall enter Hawaiian territory, he shall be free. No person who imports a slave or slaves into the king's dominions shall ever enjoy any civil or political rights in this realm, but involuntary servitude for the punishment of crime is allowable according to law. And whereas among many Black people who have made unprecedented achievements in Hawaii's community throughout its history include Anthony D. Allen, advisor and steward to King Kamehameha I, William F. Crockett, member of the Board of Registration of Wailuku, Deputy County Attorney of the County of Maui, a judge of Wailuku, and a member of the Territorial House of Representatives. Oliver and George Washington Hyatt, the first two bandmasters of the Royal Hawaiian Band under King Kamehameha III. Betsy Stockton, founder of the first mission school in Lahaina open to all, now the site of Lahaina Luna High School. Alice A. Ball, the first woman to earn a master's degree at the University of Hawaii, the first woman instructor at UHU's Department of Chemistry, and the discoverer of the first treatment for leprosy, known as the Ball Method. Thomas McCants Stewart, an attorney, teacher, clergy, and civil rights leader who helped draft the Organic Act to protect Hawaiian interest and was later instrumental in drafting Honolulu's county charter. And Dr. Donis Thompson, the University of Hawaii's first women's athletic director, who started the Rainbow Wahine sports program and a state school superintendent. And whereas on March 19th, 1965, the Maui County Board of Supervisors adopted Resolution 65-31, denouncing the violence used by Alabama governmental authorities against civil rights demonstrators, and urged Hawaii's congressional delegation to vote for the swift passage of new voting rights legislation. And whereas on August 18th, 2020, the Council adopted Resolution 2115 to recognize June 19 as Juneteenth in Maui County. And whereas the rich culture and proud heritage of Black people have been and continue to be positive influences upon the life in Hawaii, and whereas our Black community is the current manifestation of their ancestors, continuing to contribute to the betterment of Hawaii as leaders, innovators, entrepreneurs, educators, athletes, artists, cultural practitioners, activists, environmentalists, healthcare professionals, scientists, attorneys, and policymakers. And whereas recognition of the contributions of Black people and their culture is important to the promotion and awareness of Hawaii's diverse and multicultural society, now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the County of Maui that it celebrates February 2025 as Black History Month in the County of Maui. 2, that it recognizes the importance of Black History Month as an opportunity to reflect on the complex history of the United States while remaining hopeful and confident about the path ahead. 3, that it is proud to acknowledge that all of the African Americans who have played an important role in making our county, state, and the nation a better place to live and are grateful for their contributions and leadership. And 4, that certified copies of this resolution be transmitted to the Honorable Josh Green, MD, Governor of the State of Hawaii, Marcus L. Kawatachi, Executive Director, Hawaii Civil Rights Commission, Salma Y. Rizvi, Executive Director, American Civil Liberties Union of Hawaii, Alfonso Braggs, President, Honolulu, Hawaii's National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, Camille A. Nelson, Dean, Professor of Law, University of Hawaii at Manoa, William S. Richardson School of Law, and the Honorable Richard T. Bisson, Jr., Mayor, County of Maui.
Members in NCA discussion.
Mahalo, Chair. February was designated as Black History Month in 1976 and is dedicated to acknowledging and celebrating the past and current achievements of African Americans. We honor citizens of African descent and their contributions and legacy to both Hawaiian and American history and society. Excuse me, including within the fields of medicine, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, politics, music, art, literature, and sports, and how they have shaped the world with courageous and selfless acts of service. And Chair, even though we celebrate Black History once a month, once a year, we know that the work and contributions and their passions continue 365 days of the year. And when appropriate, Chair, I'd like to move to amend the resolution under the Be It Resolved section number 4 to include the African American Lawyers Association of Hawaii.
Objection to adding that?
No
Do you need-
objection.
Okay,
I'll ask for members' support. Thank you.
okay. Any more discussion on the resolution? If not, all those in favor of the motion, please raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
9 ayes, 0 noes, motion carries. Very good.
Without objections, Chair, may I introduce our guests today to
Yes.
come to be recognized?
Yes.
Thank you.
I guess they all said something already.
Yeah, we can take a photo, Chair.
Okay.
No, we'll just take the photo. I think people are taking the picture. Age before beauty.
Oh.
Yes? Members, Mrs. Matthews wants to say a few words.
Yes. I wanted to be sure to let you know that I did first come to Maui here in 1982. My former husband and I, we were the first Black ministers on the now King's Cathedral. And I see the, yes, we were. And then as far as my research, I do believe that I may have been the first Black commissioner on the Commission for Persons with Disabilities. And there are other things, but what I really want to close with here, and I mean, to bring out here, and also want to acknowledge Dean Camille Nelson, being the first female dean of the law school, and she is a Black American. So, but what I want to, the African American national anthem, Lift Every Voice. I'm just going to read the lyrics here. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. Ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun, let us march on till victory is won. Stony the road we trod, bitter the chastening rod, felt in the days when hope unborn had died, yet with a steady beat had not our weary feet come to the place for which our fathers sighed. We have come over a way that with tears has been watered. We have come treading our path through the blood of the slaughtered, out from the gloomy past, till now we stand at last. While the white gleam of our bright star is cast, God of our weary years, God of our silent tears, thou who has brought us thus far on the way, thou who has by the might led us into the light, keep us forever in the path, we pray, lest our feet stray from the places, our God, where we met thee. Our hearts drunk with the wine of the world, we forget thee. Shadowed beneath thy hand, may we forever stand, true to our God, true to our native land. And with that, I say thank you, Council. Thank you, Councilman Shane Shenensi, for this resolution.
And thank you very much. Ms. Clerk.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Proceeding to written or oral testimony on any item on the meeting agenda, aside of the ceremonial resolutions. To be added to the testifier log online, please raise your hand in Teams. Once you've been added to the testifier log, staff will lower your hand. If you're calling in by phone, follow the phone prompts to be added to the testifier log. Testifiers are listed in the order of sign up, and you can check your place in line by clicking on the testifier log in the chat. When your name is called to testify, please identify the item agenda number that you're testifying on. If you wish to testify later at the time the item is called, please notify us when your name is called and we'll move your name to that section. Chair, the first testifier is Napua Hueo, testifying on Resolution 25-37, to be followed by Housing Director Richard Mitchell.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Council, can you hear me okay?
Yes, now we can. Thank you.
My name is Napua Huel, and I'm testifying on Resolution 2537. testifying in support of Marianne Kamalani Pahukoa's appointment to the Maui Planning Commission. As we've discussed, she would help satisfy the seat that is designated for a Hawaiian cultural practitioner and somebody from East Maui. I think we spent a large portion of this morning talking about diversity, equity, inclusion, and so I want to remind the council not to forget about our Hawaiian cultural practitioners and making sure that they have a seat at the table here in Hawaii to help guide the planning for Maui in a culturally appropriate manner. I did testify on February 18th about a statement that was made by a council member that was false. I did receive communication just shortly before this meeting about clarification on the details of the incident that she had shared in order to help influence disapproval of Marianne Kamalani Pahukoa's appointment. And I am absolutely appalled that the details are so inaccurate. My sister and I have never, ever came into contact with Councilmember Ulu Hodgins. I am absolutely floored that she would make up such an incident. My sister and I never had the incident that she explains in email, and I will continue to pursue truth on this matter. The photo attachment that she provided couldn't even be opened so that we could read the text of it. So this is an incredibly horrific case of character defamation, and I would hope that you all follow along in helping to clarify the details of this matter because it was brought up on the council floor. I appreciate your time and consideration in pursuing truth and justice for the people of Maui County. I think that it is so necessary that we have somebody who is a Hawaiian cultural practitioner on the Planning Commission to help balance perspective. I appreciate your time and being able to testify here today. Please let me know if you have any questions. Mahalo.
Thank you. Members, do you have any questions? If not, thank you very much. Ms. Clark.
Chair, the next testifier is Director Richard Mitchell, testifying on Resolution 25-32, to be followed by Michael Williams.
Aloha again, Chair and members. Thank you for another opportunity to speak about something I'm equally passionate about, but not as passionate, if you know what I mean. I've now had a chance to review the applications and the qualifications of the members the administration has nominated to the Housing Advisory Board. And as I referred to in, I think, our Housing and Land Use Committee meeting in terms of the mix of skills I would be looking for, we have a great mix of project management, construction, finance, land use, planning, and even county administrative experience. So I'm supportive of each of the nominated candidates and look forward to your favorable consideration. Thank you, Chair. Thank you, members.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions for Mr. Mitchell? If not, thank you.
Chair, the next testifier is Michael Williams, testifying on Bill 51, to be followed by Stanley Solomilo.
Good morning, Council Chair Lee and council members.
Morning.
My name is Michael Williams, and I'm here to testify about Bill 51, specifically the new section in Bill 51 that would allow the Affordable Housing Fund to be used for long-term planning for houselessness solutions. That's on page 6 of the bill. And the reason that's sort of critically important at this time is the council just received its long-awaited report evaluating our homelessness programs. Give you a little bit of history. When I was on the Cost Government Commission, we formed a TIG to investigate homelessness. And one of the things we did was review all the transcripts of Affordable Housing Committee meetings, and there's a remarkable exchange that I've excerpted in my first 3 slides there, where Alice Lee, Chair Lee, was really pinning down 3 of the top providers of homelessness services She had Maud Cumming there from Family Life Center. She had Monique Ibarra there from Kahale Akeola, and also Lori Suhako, the director then of Human Concerns. And they all admitted two things. One, they all agreed that the goal should be to end homelessness or get to what they call functional zero, and that is where homelessness is unexpected, sudden, and brief, because the county can react and get people into some kind of permanent supportive housing right away, and then it would be non-recurring. So the goal, when you say you want to end homelessness, it means you want to make any episode of homelessness brief, rare, and non-recurring. But she also got all three of them to admit they didn't have plans on how to get the houses built. They agreed that housing was probably the most important thing we needed for the homelessness problem, but none of those three organizations had a plan. The Cost of Government Commission issued its report in April of 22 and recommended that the council hire consultants to write a plan, and the council only a few weeks later agreed with that, appropriated $250,000, which was then eventually awarded in a contract to Eco Northwest, and they finally produced their report just last week, and you all should have it by now. They did an evaluation of the current Maui County homelessness support, and the
3 minutes.
important conclusion there. Yes.
Mike, could you wrap it up in 30 seconds?
I definitely will. They said Maui County's homelessness support system is not in a state that would allow for a consensus-based strategic planning process. And then they evaluated, they came up with several very specific criticisms of our current situation and how to improve it. But what I have come to the conclusion for, and what I'm trying to urge you guys to do today, is to begin to think about moving all of the homelessness services that the county provides out of the Department of Human Concerns and into the Department of Housing, because the main solution we need to our unhoused people, is houses. And we need the long-term planning to get those houses. And that's what Bill 51 would do.
Okay.
And that's what I urge you to do. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. Members, do you have any questions about the testimony? Yes, Member Paulton.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Mr. Williams, for your testimony. I just wanted to clarify, when you say we moved the human concerns into the Department of Housing, didn't we just separate them? So if we move human concerns back to housing, it would make it the Department of Housing and Human Concerns, which we just bifurcated into the Department of Housing and the Department of Human Concerns?
No, they're within the Human Concerns Department now. There's still sort of a division of homelessness management. It's run by Chris Kish, and that's what I'm suggesting gets moved. There's still, we're only talking about, I think, 8 or 9 more employees at most that would move from the current Human Concerns Department to the new Department of Housing. But all of the people in Human Concerns that are working on housing for the homeless should be in the housing department. That's the point I'm trying to make. And we'll have time to deal with that as the budget.
Thank you for the clarification.
Okay, we have another question from Pro Tem Kama.
I don't have a question for Mr. Williams. I just was wondering if we could ask, because the Department of Housing is still here. Could we
Director Mitchell? Members, do you have any?
That would be like discussion during
This is only for
testimony.
clarifying questions.
Okay. Oh, thank you.
Unless he wants to sign up to testify. Any more, any clarifying questions for Mr. Williams right now?
No, I don't have.
Yes, Mr. Johnson.
I'm going to ask a clarifying question for Mr. Williams about the I, J, and K. I thought we put that in my first term. All the I, J, and K was put in. I'm curious, Mr. Williams, do you know why that's in there? Wasn't that put?
IJK, I'm not sure what IJK refers to.
Budget.
The I, J, and K is underlined. Didn't we have that in there already?
In Bill 51?
Okay, I guess when we get in.
Well,
if you can respond, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it.
Well, there's always been a question of whether the Affordable Housing Fund can be used for homelessness issues. And my understanding of what page 6 of Bill 51 does is clarify that the Affordable Housing Fund can be used for the long-term planning to get houses for the homeless. And that that's a very important thing to be doing, and it should be in the Department of Housing. That's all the point I'm making.
Okay, all right, I see your point, but I'm sure we put that in the law already, but okay, thank you, Chair.
Members, any questions?
Sure.
Any more questions for Mr. Williams?
Let me pull it up.
If not, thank you very much. Appreciate you coming on. Thank you. Next testifier.
Chair, the next testifier is Stanley Solomilo, testifying on Resolution 25-36, to be followed by Rory Frampton.
Aloha kakayaka kako. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. My name is Stanley Solomilo, and I'm a senior planner and architectural historian for Maui County. I am here today to offer testimony in support of Reso 2536 and the nomination of Dora Atwater Milliken to the Maui County Cultural Resources Commission. I'm the grandson of Calixta Solomilo, a Visayan laborer who came to Maui over a century ago to work for Pioneer Mill in Lahaina and lived in a work camp at Pu'ukuli'i. I never knew when I chased chickens under his house as a keiki, and few people know today that the dwelling that he lived in, like most of the houses in the 43 camps that the company rebuilt from 1913 to 1925, were erected under the supervision of a native Hawaiian head carpenter named Thomas Kaneholani Hussey. In Post-Fire Lahaina, of all the buildings whose construction Mr. Hussey directed, only the Lahaina Ice Company, Pioneer Mill Company bookkeeper's house still stands. Sold as a teardown to Ms. Milliken and her husband Tripp in 2020. It was instead restored and listed in the Hawaii Register of Historic Places in 2022. Only one other historic dwelling with Native Hawaiian Association survived the Lahaina fire, the mid-century modern house of cultural practitioner Mary Pony Bright. Others, including the dwellings of Lucy Kaewe Searle or Deputy Sheriff William Kaluakini, were destroyed, but their owners plan to rebuild replicas of them. Lahaina is in the process of rebuilding now, and that requires that the Maui County Cultural Resources Commission review and approve updated design guidelines, updates to the current Maui County Code, and related historic preservation ordinances, applications for Historic Districts 1 and 2 in the Lahaina National Historic Landmark District, as well as Historic District number 3 in Wailuku. The Maui County Cultural Resources Commission is required by MCC 2.88030 to have a person with demonstrated experience in architecture or architectural history in lieu of a professional architect who meets the Secretary of the Interior's standards. In addition, MCC 2.88030 states that CRC members should have a demonstrated interest, competence, and knowledge of historic preservation. Dora Atwater Milliken is a qualified candidate with demonstrated experience in architecture and architectural history from the successful restoration of 3 historic properties on the U.S. mainland and 1 in the Lahaina National Historic Landmark. She also has demonstrated interest, competence, and knowledge of historic preservation as a previous member of the Historic Commission and the recipient of 2 Historic Preservation Awards. I request that you affirm the nomination of Ms. Milliken to the CRC. Mahalo for your time.
Thank you. Oh, you had 7 seconds left. Any questions? If not, thank you very much. Next testifier, Ms. Clerk.
Chair, the next testifier is Rory Frampton, testifying on Resolution 25-55, to be followed by Robert Corcajo.
Morning.
Good morning, Chair and council members. I'm Rory Frampton. I'm a planning consultant, but I'm here in support of Resolution 2555. I represent the owners of the property. Reso 2555 would refer to the Maui Planning Commission bills that would establish business country town zoning for the old Paia train depot. That would basically recognize the existing uses of the buildings. It would refer this to the planning commissions where there would be further discussion and come back to the council. So I'm here if there's any questions that you guys have on this matter, and I can be available later.
Member Hodgins.
Thank you, Chair. Can I please call Mr. Frampton up when this item comes up if we have any questions for him as a resource?
Yep. Any objections, members? Well, Member Paulton.
Oh, no objection. I just missed which item. Sorry, if it can be repeated.
2555.
Thank you. I was paying attention. It just got past me.
That's interesting. Rory, would you be able to come back when this item comes up?
Yes, I can stay here. Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Any more clarifying questions for now? If not, thank you.
Thank you.
Next testifier.
Thank you, Chair. The next testifier is Robert Corcajo, testifying on Resolution 25-60, to be followed by Carol Lee Kamikona.
Morning.
Hi, good morning, Chair and fellow council members. Before I start my testimony, I do want to quickly acknowledge the opening
Excuse me,
remarks
is your microphone on?
I'm sorry, is this better?
Yeah, better. Okay.
I'm sorry. Anyway, before I start my quick testimony, I want to acknowledge the opening remarks by Council Member Johnson. That was very well received, so thank you. I did submit written testimony in support of Resolution 2560, so I'm not going to repeat it. But I first want to acknowledge and mahalo Council Member Rollins for introducing Resolution 25-60. The introduction of that completes my personal goal of amending parts of Chapter 19.30A and regarding ag lands, and 16.25105 regarding work permit without work being exempt from permits. I believe you all know my story about why Resolution 2560 was introduced, and also 25171. So, but if you don't know, please ask me. Mahalo for your time and support for the ag farming community.
Okay, thank you. Members, are there any questions?
Thank you.
If not, thank you very much. Next testifier.
Chair, the next testifier is Carol Lee Kamikona, testifying on Resolutions 2562, 63, 64, and 69. Ms. Kamikona, when you finish testifying on one of the resolutions, please let us know. We'll restart the clock. And she will be followed by Pane Miatoga.
Morning.
Aloha kakayaki ko kako aloha.
Aloha.
Ko ino o Carol Lee Kamikona, no laila, ma'ana iwao I ke iala, no o ihono. Olelo ho, I olelo pelikania. I am testifying on my own behalf as an individual and not as a county employee. Regarding Reso 25-62 and 25-64, appointees to the Cultural Resources Commission. I am in total support of both candidates as Kanaka Maoli, cultural practitioners, and kia'i for our culture, history, and traditions. As a kumu, Kamaunu has the opportunity to mentor the narrative of who we are as a peoples, to preserve and perpetuate our identity to our future seven. As a mahiai, la'a tends to the preservation of our aina for food security, and the local i'a in Molokai to feed our lahui. Again, I fully support the approval of both of these candidates. Regarding Reso 25-63 and 25-69, I am in total support of these two candidates to the Maui Planning Commission. As a generational ohana from East Maui, a cultural practitioner, and a mahiai. Kauiki is a much-needed refresher to the Maui Planning Commission to bring forward our Ike Kupuna, especially with the amount of luxury developments coming forward in the South Maui area. Jeremy has proven himself as a kia'i for the Lahui in the rebuild of Lahaina. As a person in the construction industry, his mana'o will be on smart development for the betterment of our people. Again, I fully support these two candidates for the Maui Planning Commission. Mahalo.
Thank you. Members, are there any questions, clarifying questions? If not, thank you very much.
Chair, the next testifier is Panimea Toga III, testifying on Resolution 2567, to be followed by Leslie Milner.
Hey, hello, Chair, Vice Chair, members of the Council. Panimea Toga III.
Hi.
Hello, everyone. I am the Deputy Political Director for Operating Engineers Local 3. I believe you have my boss's written testimony in support of Resolution 2526. I just wanted to jump online to express our support for Resolution 2526 and the nomination of Dwight Burns to the Planning Commission. I've had the opportunity to work with Mr. Burns for many years. He's a committed member of the community in Maui. He has worked for many years in the construction industry and also on the State Burial Council. I believe his experience and his knowledge will bring a unique perspective to the Planning Commission that I think Maui needs. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions, members? Member U'uhajens.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to clarify, I believe that one is 25-67.
I'm sorry, yes, 2567.
Thank you. Thanks, Chair.
Any more questions? Yes, Member Rollins Fernandez.
Mahalo, Chair. Aloha, Mr. Mea Tonga. Mahalo for your testimony today. Does the industry compensate their members when for the time that they're serving during meetings on the board?
No.
I'm sorry?
He said no.
No.
Oh, no. Okay. Mahalo. Mahalo, Chair.
Are there any more questions, members? If not, thank you very much. Ms. Clerk.
Chair, the next testifier is Budget Director Leslie Milner, testifying on Bill 25.
Aloha, Chair. Aloha, Council members. We also have Bill 23 on the agenda today, which relates to the Makawaupaia Haiku residency area, but I will defer to Councilmember U'uhajens to do any discussion on that one. But for Bill 25, we would ask for floor action today. This is recognizing an additional $425,000 in grant funds for the Department of Police. It's for their Department of Transportation Highway Safety grants. They received more funding than was allocated in the budget. And this is for things like impaired driving, electronic citation program, seatbelt and child car seat inspections and installation, and other programs of that nature. So as the council already reviewed the DOT grants during the budget process, I would just ask that you consider floor action today. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Members, any questions? Thank you. Next.
Chair, the next testifier is Kavika. And Kavika, if you could let us know what item you will be testifying on, and he will be followed by Dick Mayer.
Aloha, good morning. This is Kavika Farm. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I will be testifying on Resol 2536, 2564, 2562, 2568. My name is Kavika Farm. I am the planning supervisor in the Long Range Division with the Department of Planning. I oversee and staff the Cultural Resources Commission, and I just wanted to express my strong support for Dora Milliken. As Stanley Solomilo had stated earlier regarding some of the qualifications that the commission is supposed to be comprised of. We are trying our best to try and have a real balanced commission. And in order to have a real balanced commission, we need some of these other individuals and candidates from the other disciplines, particularly in architecture, as it becomes more critical when we start reviewing a lot of the permits that comes in for the rebuilding of Lahaina. So strong support for Dora Milliken. If this council could reconsider her, we would appreciate Kahula Malua Pearson's reappointment. Strong support for La'apoipoi. And then we support Wilmot Kahayali and Miriam Awakawa as well. We have been having very challenging issues regarding quorum. The CRC was in hiatus for over a year. We were able to reconvene meetings back in November of this year and December of this year. And unfortunately, due to quorum challenges and issues, we had to cancel at the last minute January and February's meeting. We are still struggling with quorum issues currently to hold the next meeting in March, on March 6th. So I just deeply implore the council and this body as much as possible to staff and fill the vacancies so that we can have a active functioning Cultural Resources Commission, because in my opinion, it is more detrimental and worse to have a commission that is unable to meet. So I just wanted to share that. Thank you, Mahalo, for your time.
Thank you, members. Questions, Member Paulton, and then Member Rollins Fernandez.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you. Is it Mr. Farm?
Yes.
Thank you for your testimony. I just wanted to clarify if you've shared this with the administration, because all our boards and commissions are important, and they've left many vacancies when the ball was in their court, year after to this year. So I was wondering, I'd like to clarify if you've shared this with the administration, that the last 3 years has led us to this point.
We have always advocated and shared the challenges that we were faced with. We submitted written testimony previously to the IMB in support of some of the candidates that was up before their review and consideration, and we're at the point now where I'm just taking the opportunity to further advocate on behalf of the greater good of staffing the CRC.
Thank you. And then the 4 individuals that you've expressed support for on the Cultural Resources Commission, we can only choose one because another one has to be a member from Lanai, I believe. And just wondering your thoughts on that continuing, because I believe the Cultural Resources Commission is for the historic district, and to my information, there's only historic district in Wailuku and Lahaina.
Correct. So if given the choice, my preference would be for Dora Milliken because of the need for an architectural background and someone with that type of familiarity. That would be my preference out of the 4 candidates.
Thank you for sharing your clarification.
Member Rollins Fernandez.
Mahalo, Chair. Aloha, Mr. Farr. Mahalo for your testimony. Maybe I counted wrong, but it sounded like you were supporting all 5 candidates.
Well, I think, yes, because one is a reappointment, so it's not really a vacancy, it's just kind of a carryover, a holdover.
Correct. So there's 4 seats. One's a reappointment, and then so that leaves 3. We have 5 candidates. One of them is the reappointment, Ms. Molua Pearson, which the committee recommended appointment. So, are you saying that you don't have a preference when you testify in support of all the candidates or all the nominees?
My order of priority as far as candidates would be Dora Milliken first, La'apoipoi second, Wilmot Kahayali third.
Okay. Mahalo for that clarification. Mahalo, Chair.
Thank you. Anyone else? Questions? If not, thank you very much. Next.
Sorry, one more question.
Yes, one more question.
Mr. Farr. In committee, we discussed that anyone with knowledge, experience, background, expertise that can contribute to a board or commission is not prohibited from doing so. and would not need to be an appointed member of the board or commission to serve as a resource person. So we have 5. Would you invite anyone that is not approved today to join you at these meetings, even if they're not a voting member?
We can certainly invite those individuals, I guess, in addition to having a more balanced commission to make informed and the best decision possible is also to just have a commission that can satisfy quorum requirements.
Okay, mahalo. Mahalo.
More questions, members? If not, Ms. Clerk.
Chair, the next testifier is...
Sorry, one additional question.
Okay, Member Paulton.
I'm looking at the membership requirements, and it says that all members have demonstrated experience in architecture, history, archaeology, planning, Hawaiian culture, and ethnic history and culture of the county. So I know you said Ms. Milliken has that architectural history, but it says that all of them are supposed to have it. If you could clarify, do they all have it or no?
No, my understanding and reading of Maui County Code is that the commission as a whole cumulatively is supposed to have individuals that represent these various professions and disciplines.
Okay, that's not what the handout we've been given says. So we may need to work on that.
Okay.
Any more questions? If not, Ms. Clerk.
Chair, the next testifier is Dick Mayer. And Mr. Mayer, if you could let us know what item you will be testifying on. He will be followed by Elizabeth Jermansky.
On some of the resolutions at the very end of the list of nominees. It's a general statement about the process. I just want to give a warning to the council before they act today that they follow the charter requirements in section 13.2 of the charter. Section 19 says that if the independent nominating board, I'm reading a sentence now, if the independent nominating board fails to provide a list of nominees within the prescribed time limits, that would be by the end of January, the appointing authority, and that would be the mayor, may make its own appointment within 30 days therefrom without consulting with the independent nominating board. I believe the independent nominating board did not give names properly to the mayor, so he has 30 days to do it, and that would be till the end of February. So before you appoint people to the Planning Commission and Cultural Resources, et cetera, names that didn't come from the mayor perhaps, that you be careful in not making those nominations until after the 30-day period that the mayor has to nominate people. It's just a caution. You have your own attorneys to interpret it, but my understanding is it's clear that it would be premature before the end of February to be able to do that. The mayor still has another few days, and my understanding is that the nominating board is now making some names available, but I'm not sure about that 100%. That's my end of my testimony.
Thank you for your opinion. Let's not discuss this matter, just clarifying questions. Member Paulton.
So I'd just like to clarify, so we're to leave these boards and commissions vacant that aren't having quorum, that are affecting people's lives to rebuild Lahaina is what you're saying?
I'm not arguing for or against, helping out. I think you still will have time. If the mayor were to submit in the next 7 or 8 days before the end of February a name, you would have the month of March to place people on those boards and commissions before the terms expire at the end of March. So I think there's still time to do that. And I think that would be, at least check with that's section 19 of the Charter 13.2. I urge you to check with your attorneys on that.
My only statement would be Aole Loa'a Kako Kamanava no Kela.
Okay, we have been checking with our attorneys. Any more questions? If not, thank you very much. Next testifier.
Chair, the next testifier is Elizabeth Jermansky, testifying on Resolution 2540, and she will be followed by Autumn Ness.
Aloha, council members. My name is Elizabeth Jermansky, and I have been appointed by the mayor for the Real Property Tax Review Board. I am formerly from Lahaina and can't wait to get back to Lahaina once I rebuild my house. And in the days after the fire, I realized, that the community needed help as a whole. I wasn't going to be the person that could pass out supplies as much as I wanted to. I realized my biggest strength would be in my brain. And as we are, getting to that point where we're rebuilding and there is a whole town, there obviously the next step is going to be how the tax is assessed and how I can best help my fellow community members. And so I've reviewed the minutes, I've seen the agendas, I'm aware of, what that entails, and I am excited for the nomination, and I look forward to you guys approving that nomination.
Thank you. Questions, members? If not, thank you very much. Ms. Clerk.
Chair, the next testifier is Autumn Ness, testifying on Resolutions 2557 and 2570, and she will be followed by Katie Austin.
Aloha, Council. It's good to see you all in person today. My name is Autumn Ness, Executive Director of the Lahaina Community Land Trust, an organization that is working to interrupt the post-disaster narrative of displacement and gentrification that is so common in the 5 to 20 years after a disaster of this magnitude. In working with communities across the nation, we are learning that even in these early years of long-term fire rebuild, Lahaina is building a model of land protection and resident organizing that is already becoming a model for other communities, especially in LA after their fires. This is in no small part because of the support of Lahaina CLT from this body, and so I really want to thank you all. I'm honored to report that Lahaina CLT has officially secured 2 parcels into forever community ownership, and we are under contract for 4 more, collectively zoned for 13 forever affordable homes, forever in the hands of Lahaina residents. We are also about to choose our first 4 insurance gap recipients. Those 4 ohana will receive a grant to help them fill their gap and rebuild their homes, preventing the distress-driven sale of their land and keeping them home in Lahaina, while also protecting the land under their homes from speculative forces forever. These 4 families are just the first round in our pilot program that we currently have funding to support about 10 families and are seeking additional funds to scale that program over the coming months and years. Which brings me to my first item, Resolution 25-70. The way our insurance gap program works is that we give grants to folks to help them rebuild, and they retain title of their INA in the near term, with an agreement that includes various points, including an owner occupancy requirement and a point that Lahaina Community Land Trust gets first right of offer if the property ever sells, at which time Lahaina CLT will bring that INA into trust. So that satisfies the intent of the affordable housing funds, that expenditures made from the fund will continue to serve the mission of providing affordable housing long-term, while also allowing us to respond to the unique challenges of post-fire and individual families' needs to retain ownership of their INA now. There's no questions on that one. I will move to resolution.
We have a question.
Okay.
Member Rollins Fernandez.
Mahalo, Ms. Ness, for your testimony, and aloha. So when you say that it's, to clarify, when you said in testimony that it would satisfy the Affordable Housing Fund requirement when it requires first right of refusal to Lahaina CLT, what you're saying is because Lahaina CLT has a resale restriction on the price so that it would be affordable for anyone that would thereafter lease from the Lahaina CLT, that's how it satisfies that requirement.
Yes, and just the final clarification I would add is because that resale requirement is added to the home, we can kind of guess how much property is in our portfolio at any one time and put aside a fund to be able to respond to the first rights of offer and bring that land into trust. But worst case scenario, even if we don't, that resale requirement is still attached. So the owner can sell And even if Lahaina Community Land Trust doesn't buy it, the purchaser of the home will have an affordable home. Does that make sense?
Yes, mahalo. Okay, no other questions? You can go on to the next one.
Thank you. The next one is Resolution 25-57, asking for a pre-approval to expand Lahaina CLTs up to $5 million that we've been allocated from the managed retreat funds in this current budget year to be used for land acquisition. Lahaina CLT is in regular communications with the County Planning Department, the Shoreline Division, and state folks who are discussing shoreline buyouts to avoid spending county managed retreat funds to secure INA that can potentially be secured with like state or federal funds. We're trying to reserve the county funds. Our niche is that we can work with the generational landowners on the Lahaina shoreline in ways that the county and the state and even the county cannot. These folks are facing a difficult decision to sell their INA because they may not be able to rebuild what they lost in the fire because of shoreline stuff. Unlike other agencies, Lahaina CLT can develop perpetual stewardship agreements with those generational owners. This looks a lot of different ways depending on the needs of the ohana, but the gist is that Lahaina CLT buys the INA, giving the family resources to move inland, and then works with that ohana to maintain a relationship to the land, allowing access, continuation of cultural practices, and will restore those nearshore ecosystems and public access and benefits to the wider community as well. We're not inventing the wheel here. Thankfully, we are building on the work of our partners who have been in this space for many years, including our sister land trust on Kauai, Kipuka Kuleana, who does very similar work, and taking guidance from HILT and other land trusts who have cultural easements on INA across Hawaii. The families we're in conversation with are doing everything they can to retain ownership of their INA. Selling is a last resort, but we've learned that once a family makes the choice, the really difficult choice to sell, things often tend to move quickly, and unfortunately the speed of investor-driven real estate also moves quickly. So Lahaina CLT needs to be ready to move, make offers, and save INA at the same speed in order to meet the family's needs, ensure those parcels are stewarded in ways that consider sea level rise and community needs rather than profit or luxury homes, which is where these would probably end up if we can't make an offer. So giving us a pre-approved permission to use this money to acquire land would allow us to serve all those needs.
Members, questions? Oh, Member Paulton.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Ms. Ness, for your testimony. The bill to create the managed retreat fund was one that I drafted, and I just wanted to clarify the intent was never to have like a parachute for wealthy shoreline landowners. The intent was to prevent ecological disaster and now also to respond to a catastrophe. And I'm okay with this use of the fund because I don't feel that it's a buyout for wealthy landowners. I feel it's more of a response to a catastrophe that lets us plan a better future. But I just wanted clarification and confirmation that you don't see this as a bailout for wealthy landowners on the shoreline.
Thank you for that question. Actually, and thank you for the foresight that put this fund together in the first place. No, I also agree, which is why we're really careful. We only have $5 million. That's not going to go far. And so if it's a wealthy landowner who has other options or a piece of land that, like I said, is potentially able to be rescued by a different fund, that's what we're going to do. But this is specifically for, and speaking of like shoreline stuff, the people that are the best stewards of this INA, of these parcels, are those families. So I really believe that keeping them in relationship with this INA is going to pay dividends. You know, keeping them as stewards of these parcels, I think is really in line with the intent of this fund.
Thank you for that clarification.
Member Rollins Fernandez.
Mahalo, Chair. Mahalo again for your testimony on this item. To clarify, so I understand that the funds used for the Mako retreat is last resort, and potentially if there's state or federal grant opportunities, that those would be used first, or private even. When you say that, are you also saying that Lahaina CLT would be potentially working with those agencies to ensure that legacy, kuleana to their aina kupuna, it remains too? I know it might be a little tricky, and if you don't have to answer now,
that's
it's okay,
great.
But I want to make sure that because what you said is 100% true, and I fully support, and I want to see happen. And so I'm saying it publicly for any agencies that might be listening.
Thank you for that. We are willing to. I think everybody in this room knows that you can only tell an agency so much, and then you got to move if they don't listen, right? So if that is, for whoever is listening, if that is a conversation that people are willing to have, like I said, we're by no means the experts, but there is a whole group of organizations that are doing this work, that we have shared language, we have shared documents. So yes, and if they're just not listening and there's an important parcel or area that needs to be saved, then we're just going to move without them if it's vital, Yeah.
Mahalo, Ms. Ness.
Yeah.
Mahalo, Chair.
Any more questions?
Okay.
If not, thank you.
Thank you. Chair, the next testifier is Katie Austin. And Ms. Austin, if you could please let us know what item you will be testifying on, to be followed by Shannon EE.
Aloha, Chair. Aloha, Council. My name is Katie Austin. I'm testifying on Resolution 25-62 and 25-63. For Resolution 25-62, I am in strong support of the nomination of Wilmot Kahaya Ali'i for Maui County Council, or Maui County Cultural Resources Commission. As some of the previous testifiers were talking about, the importance of the historical districts. I do believe that having Wilmot Kahaya Ali'i on this county cultural resources, who knows the complexity of Lahaina and the importance of preserving our cultural resources, is invaluable. So I urge the support for him. Also testifying on 25-63 in strong support of the nomination of Jeremy Delos Reyes for the Maui County Planning Commission. Jeremy has been the epitome of a leader and advocate in our community in Lahaina for years, and his deep commitment to our community is evident in everything that he does. He's not just one that walks the walk, that talks the talk on social media. He is in our community every day, whether it's helping rebuild houses, planting natives to help change the scope of our landscape in Lahaina. He is one of those people that has inspired me to step up for my community, and one of the main reasons of why I have gotten involved. His unwavering dedication to protecting our Aina, uplifting our people, and ensuring that decisions are made with the best interest of our local families at heart has been a guiding force for so many that have stepped up to fight for our home. And he not only leads by example, but he also empowers others to engage in this important work of shaping Maui's future. I do believe his experience, integrity, and firsthand understanding of the issues directly impacting Lahaina make him an invaluable asset to the Planning Commission. I can think of no one better suited to serve in this capacity, and ensuring that the planning decisions prioritize the needs of residents, cultural preservation, and environmental stewardship. And I do urge you to confirm Jeremy Delos Reyes. Mahalo.
Thank you. Any questions, members? If not, thank you again.
Chair, the next testifier is Shannon EE, testifying on Resolution 2563, to be followed by Akio.
Aloha mai kako, aloha Chair and members of the council. My name is Shannon EE, and I'm testifying in strong support of Jeremy Delos Reyes for the Maui Planning Commission under Resolution 2563. As a resident of Lahaina and someone deeply committed to preserving restoration of our Aina, I believe Jeremy's his knowledge, experience, and dedication to our island make him an excellent choice for this role. Seeing how he has demonstrated a deep understanding of the issues that we have, not just within Lahaina, but Maui Nui Akama, his cultural values, and he definitely looks out for community needs. His background in responsible planning and sustainable development through construction aligns with the Commission's mission to ensure thoughtful and culturally sensitive decision making. As we navigate the future of our island, it is essential that we have leaders like Jeremy who are committed to balancing progress with the protection of our natural and cultural resources. Furthermore, Jeremy's ability to really engage the community, to listen to diverse perspectives and make an informed decision rooted in both traditional knowledge and modern planning makes him a valuable asset. Maui deserves a leader like him who will advocate for responsible growth, protect our aina, and uplift the voices of our local community. I have full confidence and I support him fully. I urge the council to confirm Jeremy De Los Reyes for the Maui Planning Commission. Meka ha'a, mahalo.
Thank you. Members, questions? If not, thank you very much.
Chair, the next testifier is Akio, to be followed by Mike Moran. Akio, you can go ahead and unmute on your end. Please let us know which item you're testifying on.
Good morning to the council members.
Morning.
My name is Akio Munemitsu, and I'm calling in regards to resolution number 2563, nominating Jeremy De Los Reyes on the Maui Planning Commission. I am in strong favor of this nomination, as Jeremy is a strong-willed member of this community that will support our needs as a whole. His experience working as a woodshop teacher for over 20 years and as a carpenter in the construction industry, he has a balanced approach to growth that will not only sustain, but enhance our island community for future generations. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Members, questions? Yes, we have one from Member Paulton.
Thank you, Mr. Munemitsu. I just wanted to clarify when you said our community, your ohana, was impacted by the fire in Lahaina.
Our house survived. We were about 6 or 7 houses away. We had to move out because of a smoke and smoke damage, basically. But we're back in our house now. But being born and raised in Lahaina, my grandma's house, uncle's house, and of course, know a lot of people in the community that lost everything.
Thank you for the clarification of the community you were referring to.
Anyone else with questions? If not, thank you very much. Ms. Clerk.
Chair, the next testifier is Mike Moran. Mr. Moran, if you can let us know which item or items you're testifying on, to be followed by Leonard Nakoa.
Happy Aloha Friday, Chair Lee. I'm testifying on Bill 51, and same greeting to the entire council. I got my words twisted up there. I'm testifying for the Kihei Community Association this morning in support of Bill 51. While our association is not truly pleased the way some developers use the credits for our people who live here when they're building thousands of units for people who will move here and really aren't part of our community, we certainly support anything that will work, anything that's going to get us affordable housing in our district, because we know it's community, I mean, it's county-wide, but we only speak for our district, our South Maui community, so we're addressing that. We do see a declining number of affordable or workforce housing in South Maui, while we see an explosion of thousands and thousands of these high-end homes. So we just have to do what we can do to get homes built for our current residents. And on that tangential issue that Mr. Williams brought up earlier about the houseless aspect, honestly, we are unclear whether it was in there originally or not. But if it was not in there, we certainly support including that in there. Again, we're only speaking for our community, but we are barraged with people saying about the problem with the houseless, particularly in Kalama Park, where our community is being driven away from the park, or Keiki are afraid to go to the playground because of the issue there. So, but we know that houseless covers a very wide spectrum of people, good and bad. So we support including that if it's not already included. Mahalo for the opportunity to testify.
Thank you, Mr. Moran. Any questions, members? If not, thank you. May we have the next testifier?
Chair, the next testifier is Leonard Nakoa. And Mr. Nakoa, if you could let us know what item you'll be testifying on, please.
Yeah, I get planning. Only came here, but talk about one, the 63 one for Brother Jeremy. Yeah, I was after Katie and Shannon them. They talk nice about him and what he can do, but I'm gonna tell you right now, dealing with that brother for many of years, fighting for our resources, protecting our resources, and all that kind of stuff. Me and him, we bang heads on certain issues, but I'm gonna tell you right now, this is one Hawaiian, this is one Kanaka, this is somebody that we really needed 10, 15 years ago. But I so stoked that he even volunteering for doing this thing, because this bugger gonna take some time, and this bugger is already busy as heck. So everybody gotta thank him for even volunteering, because I'm gonna tell you that bugger is solid. That bugger is solid. Yes, sir, Brother Jeremy. And also, okay, I get a couple other things that pop out since I look this bugger. For the culture thing. Yeah, Wilmot Kaiali'i, as in he's somebody I go to for culture stuff. I call up, and all that kind of stuff. So for Lahaina and whatnot. So that's one brother that I think you guys gotta put on, and I think the quorum thing would help out there. And even with the poi Hawaiian, same thing. Well, you say Kanakas on top there who know about them, who can do about them, and again, I think quorum, we need to get some peoples on them. I thank everybody who is volunteering for this bugger, for all these committees. Also, Sandy, 2572, Sister Sandy, she's stepping up too for border variances. Come on, man. All these people who are stepping up, who I'm going to tell you, it's awesome. That's all I can say. That's the only names that I recognize that has been doing things for the community, has been voicing and all that kind of stuff. They're stepping up to the plate. They're ready for go up to bat and do it and fight for Maui. So let's go ahead and use these buggers. And then, okay, and then the one, what? 2557 and 2570. The one that Autumn Ness was talking about. Ooh, I think that one should have its own meeting by itself. You know what I mean? Because that's some awesome stuff I just heard. We better learn how to take advantage of this, because other communities and other places is doing them. So let's go ahead and use Lahaina as the, for, what they call that, the stage or whatever. Let's do it right. Let's do it the kind, and let's go. And make sure we protect ourselves. Like, I forget who in Sam. Making these $1 million guys, the kind, they buy all this kind of stuff, and then they try build walls, and then when they get busted, make sure we're not protecting those buggers. You know what I mean? Make sure we're protecting again, I think we heard it from Autumn too, about getting the Kanakas that live on that beach forever. And then like Uncle used to tell us, yeah, I live over here, but when the ocean tell me I gotta go. You know, we gotta go, you know, we're gonna take up all the resources for all the years for supplying us. But make sure we protect that. Make sure we know more of these kind of greedy kind of guys. I know the humans too, but make sure we don't protect those greedy guys. I think that's all.
Thank you. Members, any questions? If not, thank you again.
Yes, sir.
Chair, currently the last testifier to sign up is Riley. Please let us know which item you'll be testifying on.
Yes, I will be testifying on resolution number 2563 in support of appointing Jeremy De Los Reyes to the Maui Planning Commission. Jeremy's been a pillar of advocacy in Lahaina, just generally, you know, working tirelessly to improve conditions in ways that can't really be measured. You know, his dedication and his commitment to preserving our land and cultural resources just show his unwavering love for this place that we call home, especially in Lahaina, through his efforts to ensure that Lahaina remains a thriving community where future generations can live, learn, and grow. He's just demonstrated that, you know, he is a good fit for being appointed to the Maui Planning Commission and being a part of those decision-making processes. He's got tenacity, grit, and just really good connections in the community that I think can carry us to really good places. Finally, his care for not only his family, his community, but the Lahui as a whole is just evident in everything he does. And I just urge you guys to appoint him to that planning commission. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Members, questions? If not, thank you very much. Ms. Clerk?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Currently, we have no other testifiers signed up to testify at the beginning of the meeting. If there is anyone wishing to testify at the beginning of the meeting, please make yourself known by raising your hand in Teams or making your way to the podium. Chair, seeing no one, we'll go ahead and count down 3, 2, 1. There is no one else to testify.
Members, any objections to closing public testimony at the beginning of the meeting?
I think Ms. De Los Reyes just raised her hand. Gracie.
Gracie De Los Reyes. Please go ahead and unmute on your end and let us know which item you'll be testifying on.
Sorry, took me a minute to figure out where the mic was. I apologize. Hi, I'm Gracie De Los Reyes, and I am also in support of Resolution 2563 to appoint Jeremy De Los Reyes to the Planning Commission. He is obviously a very strong advocate for Lahaina, but not just for Lahaina, for all of Maui, for all the residents of Maui, full-time residents. He is very passionate about where we are and making sure that we are planning our development that's sustainable for the long term of everybody, not just for any one entity. So I just wanted to also pledge my support for that confirmation. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Any questions, members? If not, thank you very much. Ms. Clerk?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Testifier Shannon EE indicated that she wished to testify on an additional item. So go ahead, Ms. EE.
Aloha mai, I'm so sorry. I didn't read through the whole agenda, so I apologize. I do want to testify in support of Reso 2562 for cultural preservation for Uncle Wilmot Kahaiali'i. I think he is a great nomination for that position, as he's a kupa of Lahaina. He understands like the kanawai rules, the codes of the laws. He also is he's been a kumu in the schools. He really understands the depth and just the community of Lahaina, and I think just that he just really has the aloha for it, and he's really open-minded. I think he's not like a strict, like he's open to other people's views. He really understands as well as like culture-wise, like whose culture are we supporting, right? Is it our community culture, the local culture, like what culture are we supporting? So I really think that the understanding of his views would definitely help this commission. Mahalo.
Any questions, members? If not,
Chair will go ahead and once again give last call for any testimony at the beginning of the meeting. If you wish to testify now, please raise your hand in Teams or make your way to the podium. Chair, seeing no one indicating they wish to testify, we'll give last call, counting down 3, 2, 1. No one wishes to testify at the beginning.
any objections to closing public testimony at the beginning of the meeting and accepting written testimony? So ordered. Ms. Clerk, let's move on the agenda.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Moving on to committee reports. So we'll just give a quick call for testimony on the committee report. We don't currently have anyone signed up to testify, so we'll go ahead and count down 3, 2, 1. Chair, there's no one indicating they wish to testify on the committee report.
Any objections to closing public testimony on committee reports? So ordered. Ms. Clerk?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Before you is Committee Report 25-1, recommending first reading of Bill 7 CD1 to amend the fiscal year 2025 budget by 1, amending Section 2 estimated revenues by increasing carryover savings from general fund by $1.5 million, 2, amending Section 3B12C2 Office of the Mayor Economic Development Program grants and disbursements for business development and technology by adding a new appropriation entitled Festivals of Aloha Inc. for the 2025 Maui County Fair in the amount of $1.5 million, and 3, adjusting the totals accordingly.
Vice Chair Sugimura.
Thank you, Chair. I move to adopt the recommendations in Committee Report 25-1.
Second.
Moved by Vice Chair Sugimura, seconded by Pro Tem Kama, to approve the recommendations in Committee Report 25-1. Discussion, Vice Chair Sugimura.
Thank you. Members, the proposed grant will help bring back the Maui Fair, which has not been held since 2019 because of COVID restrictions and increased costs. The grant will be used for event planning, transportation, entertainment, agriculture, exhibits, and related expenses. Your committee acknowledged that the Maui Fair, including the special fair, was a nostalgic event that united the community, celebrated Maui's culture, and assisted nonprofit organizations in Maui County, and unanimously supported the efforts to revive the event. I respectfully ask for the members' support for my motion. Thank you, Chair.
Any more discussion? All those in favor of the motion, raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
9 ayes, 0 noes, motion carries. Ms. Clerk?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Moving on to resolutions. Currently, we have no one signed up to testify on the resolutions. So I see J.C. Law making his way to the podium.
Resolution 2552. I'm kind of torn up on this one because it's a friend of mine versus the county of mine. So I just wanted to say his name. I didn't try it last time. I just said Trey Evans Dilmer. Trey Pu'uwaila Ahia Olo Paka Mele Huanani Evans Dumaron. He's one of the rarest creatures that Akua ever created. Hawaiian fire tiger.
Ms. Clerk?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'll go ahead and give last call for any testimony on the resolutions. There's no one indicating they wish to testify on Teams or making their way to the podium, so we'll count down 3, 2, 1. Chair, there's no one to testify on the resolutions.
Any objections to closing public testimony on resolutions?
No objections.
And accepting written testimony. Okay, so Member Rollins Fernandez.
Mahalo, Chair. I don't have an objection. I have no objections to that. Normally, these items would be in a committee report, but I think it's time sensitive, and so therefore they're individually listed as items instead of a committee report from the Great Committee. There are a few that have
Wait, so do you have any objections?
My question, no, I didn't have any objections.
Okay, no objections, so we're moving on to your
To my
concern.
question.
Yeah, okay.
Do you have a plan for taking up these resolutions? is the plan to first take up the resolutions that were sent to committee, and then perhaps we can look to Great Committee Chair to have them grouped, and then perhaps we can take up the applicants that applied for the same Border Commission at the same time, since they're separate resolutions, that's why.
Okay, we will, before I call on you, Member Hodgins, I'm concerned about the time because there are a lot of resolutions. So it's impossible to get to all of them before lunch. Yes? Member Rollins Fernandez?
I have an idea. Okay, what if, for the ones that our committee, that Great Committee did unanimously approve, we take them all up in one motion?
That's what I already plan to do, because you know how much I love to talk. So I plan to do all the ones that were not necessarily contentious. We only had one that was 5-4, so I did want to give the members their individual right to vote and not vote as a body, so that one will be separate. And then in speaking to the clerks, we're going to group the nominees for Planning Commission and Cultural Resource Commission that the council have put up any applicant together, and we'll take those up individually. I was just discussing this with Casey, and we can probably file the ones we don't take up or approve today, and if the council body needs more nominees when we get to Bill 27 in committee, we can use some of the other ones as well. But we can continue to discuss that as we go.
Sounds like a lovely plan. Very expeditious.
Member Paulton.
Oh, I'm not sure if this is the right time, but I would like to withdraw Reso 2566. 2566. I can give an explanation if you need, or if not, then we can just move along.
Maybe when we get to that.
Okay.
Okay? All right. So members, we have, it's 11:21. We did not take a break. So we're probably needing a break, but how about doing some, if you don't mind rearranging, and maybe Member Hodgins could give us your suggestions on taking up the so-called easy ones, and then we'll take our lunch break.
Sure.
Okay?
Yep. Maybe our clerk can call up 2523, and then I can say all the things I need to say, if you don't mind.
All right. Ms. Clerk.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Before you is Resolution 25-23, appointment of a member to the Affirmative Action Advisory Council for the County of Maui.
Member Hodgins.
Thank you, and this part will be the long part for the clerk. So, Chair, if there are no objections, may I please request the clerk to also call up Resolutions 25-24 through 25-36 and Resolutions 25-38 through 25-42 at this time.
Okay, members, any objections to doing that? Okay, Ms. Clerk.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Resolution 25-24, appointment of members to the Animal Control Board for the County of Maui. Resolution 25-25, appointment of a member to the Board of Ethics for the County of Maui. Resolution 25-26, appointment of a member to the Board of Variances and Appeals for the County of Maui. Resolution 25-27, appointment of a member to the Civil Service Commission for the County of Maui. Resolution 25-28, appointment of members to the Commission on Children and Youth for the County of Maui. Resolution 25-29, appointment of members to the Conservation Planning Committee for the County of Maui. Resolution 25-30, appointment of a member to the Council on Aging for the County of Maui. Resolution 25-31, appointment of members to the Fire and Public Safety Commission for the County of Maui. Resolution 25-32, appointment of members to the Housing Advisory Committee for the Housing Advisory Board for the County of Maui. Resolution 25-33, appointment of a member to the Liquor Control Adjudication Board for the County of Maui. Resolution 25-34, appointment of a member to the Liquor Control Commission for the County of Maui. Resolution 25-35, appointment of members to the Maui County Commission on Persons with Disabilities for the County of Maui. Resolution 25-36, appointment of members to the Maui County Cultural Resources Commission. And
Member Hodgins.
A few more.
Two more.
Resolution 2538, appointment of a member to the
Oh.
Maui Redevelopment Agency for the County of Maui. Resolution 2539, appointment of a member to the Police Commission for the County of Maui. Resolution 2540, appointment of a member to the Real Property Tax Review Board for the County of Maui. Resolution 2541, appointment of members to the Salary Commission for the County of Maui. And Resolution 2542, appointment of members to the Urban Design Review Board for the County of Maui.
Member Hodgins.
Thank you very much for reading all of those for me. I move to adopt Resolution 25-23 through 25-36 and Resolutions 25-38 through 25-42.
Moved by Member Hodgins, seconded by Pro Tem Kama, to adopt the resolutions as stated in the motion. So resolutions from 25-23 to 25-36 and 25-38 to 25-42. Discussion, Member Hodgins.
Thank you, Chair. I move to amend Resolutions 25-23 to 25-36 and Resolutions 25-38 through 25-42 by substituting them with the proposed FD1 versions attached to my ASF. I believe the clerks also handed them out this morning.
Okay, moved and seconded to amend the motion to substitute the ASF as distributed, and seconded by Pro Tem Kama. Discussion, Member Hodgins.
Thank you again, Chair. These amendments align with the discussions we had in the Great Committee meeting of February 4th, reconvened on February 13th, 2025, and incorporates other non-substantive revisions. As a reminder, the Council's deadline to approve or disapprove the nomination is February 28th, 2025, which I would like to note for the record is a difficult deadline for the Council to accommodate due to our posting deadlines and quick turnaround from committee discussions to Council action. So I really appreciate the members' time during our off weeks, our non-committee weeks. I took your all-day Tuesday, and I appreciate it very much. And at this time, I respectfully ask for the members' support of my motion. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Discussion, Member Vice Chair Sugimura.
Yeah, thank you. I support all the recommendations, and after doing research on the Maui County Cultural Resource
Which one?
I'm sorry.
Number?
I'm sorry, 2536. I would like to approve, and I may be the only one, but Miss Milligan?
Can we just pull that one and move ahead with the rest if it's going to be a change? Can we?
Sure, I'm happy to accommodate that.
Any objections to pulling 2536 members?
Point of clarification, so it's going to be removed from the main motion?
Yes.
Okay, mahalo.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then dealt separately. So any more discussion on this? Okay, we're on the ASF right now. Member Rollins Fernandez.
Mahalo, Chair. Question on Resolution 25-26, and that is for the Board of Variance and Appeals. I thought we moved that one to the disapproval list, or was that a unanimous vote? I'm doing this based off memory. Sorry.
Let me get there.
And you may as well mention the name of the person.
Alicine Grimes.
I don't think so. Hold on, it's all kind of backwards.
Take your time.
I too will have to go by memory.
Yes, Member Rollins Fernandez.
I hate to ask for this. I did not go through all of this that was distributed when we gavelled in this morning at 9. I was assuming that we were going to go through the ones that there was unanimous vote in committee for, and I'm not 100% confident.
Do you want to pull that one
That's
on the
what it
side
is?
too?
I don't remember, so perhaps recess might be appropriate. Sorry. I want to be quick, but I also want to make sure that I am.
What's good, 5 minutes or longer?
Or the lunch break.
If we come back earlier, maybe.
Like
If we
1
take
o'clock?
an early, yeah.
Like 1 o'clock? Yes, she just said yes.
12 o'clock is when I gotta
Yeah.
jump on another meeting.
She can eat it during
I
her.
can eat it in the next half hour because the meeting isn't till 12.
Yeah, don't worry about her. She's
Or I
a
can swim and
sturdy
eat. I can
person.
skip it.
She can handle. Okay, Member Johnson.
Okay, Chair. You know, looking at this one on the 2538, that was not unanimous. In fact, you were the one who voted against Mr. Kumar, and that's your the board, the Wailuku or Maui Redevelopment Agency. Yeah, that one. So, can we pull that one out? It's
Sure.
I'd like.
I was just assuming that the votes weren't going to change, so you know it didn't. I didn't mind. But it's okay if you feel that just in case there are other instances. Okay, so now we're at leaving all of them. Members, any objections to leaving all of them till after lunch?
No objections, except for Resol 2536 that we already said no objections to removing from the main motion.
Right. So, shall we actually, Member Hutchins, retract the motion? Might be easier.
Sure, we can retract the motion, Chair, and then we can go through, and I can re-request for those.
Well, wait. Then we might have to open for testimony?
I don't think so.
No,
We already
okay.
closed it.
We already, no,
For
but
the
we
record-
started discussion, okay.
Oh, yeah. For the record, I know that some votes where maybe one or two didn't vote, but for the most part, it's, heavily on one side. There was only one that was 5-4. And I didn't want to spend all day rehashing all the same stuff we spent 2 days in committee doing. So hence why I kind of grouped all of those together. But I can do whatever you guys want to do. I just super love talking about all this again.
I just wanted, for me, I prefer just talking more about process. Yeah, no, really, the process because there are like 3 different instances that we would follow different procedures. Okay, but remember, Vice Chair Sugimura had her hand up.
I agree with the chair in that we did a lot of discussions, and if we could pull out 3536, which was mine, and then, I'm sorry, 25, wrong year, 2538 and 2536, and just do all the rest.
Wait, 35?
So one is at.
Is it 25?
2536.
2536.
And 2538. 2538 is the MRA, and 2536 is the Maui County Cultural Resources Commission.
So that's 1, 2 right there.
1, 2.
And then we pulled out the, which one was the other one that we pulled out?
Only those 2.
No, we decided to separate. Which one?
2536.
Chair.
37, yes.
Perhaps we take our break, and then that way we can make a list of the resos that we either want to remove or
Okay.
do what you recommended, which is let Member Hodgins withdraw her motion, make a new motion on the resos that were unanimous, and then that way I don't have to speak again, but I would like to be able to have the freedom to vote on a resolution that or a nominee that I did vote no on in committee or did vote yes, and then that way
Okay.
I have that freedom to do that without.
Okay.
And I think everyone else would appreciate that, and I don't have to speak.
That's good. Member Paulton.
Thank you, and this would be for either now or later. I just wanted to bring to members' attention Resolution 25-40. We disapproved the nominee. I did make a caveat if we were to meet her today that I would reconsider. I'm not sure what my decision would be, but she did testify today. And one of my main questions was if she had been contacted and like that due to previous history. So I'm not sure which way I'm gonna vote yet, but I just wanted to remind members about that. We disapproved her. because she didn't show up and we weren't sure, there was nobody from the administration, and she did come to testify. So I haven't made a decision one way or another, but I just wanted to remind members, maybe we can pull that from the big list, because we are trying to fill vacancies. So
Okay. Why don't we just let Member Hodgins, during the break, re-review these items, and you might want to change the groupings. So if you want to withdraw your original motion.
I can withdraw my original motion, and then I can move on. I've been taking notes as we've been discussing. I can move on to approve the ones that haven't been mentioned right now to take up separately. Okay. Did you want to go through it all?
Yeah, Chair. I wanted to finish.
Okay, then I'll withdraw.
We only got this morning during our meeting after we gavelled in, so I didn't get an opportunity to go through it.
So if you don't mind, let's withdraw the motion. Whoever did the second, Member Kama. Okay, and then we'll just start all over again. But and then you come back with your different suggestions. Yep. All right, and then so we'll take a lunch break now, and we'll come back at 1 o'clock. Okay? This meeting is in recess till 1 o'clock. you.